Your word as law. Establishing your word as law is important. The mind is used to getting away with a lot of promises it never keeps. You tell yourself that you'll do this and that, and then you don't. You say you'll pay your friend on Saturday, and then you forget or duck out of it. It's important to establish your word as law unto yourself, as your affirmation of developing authority over the ego. If you say to yourself you will do something, then do it. Don't make promises you won't keep, and don't make promises to others if you can't or won't follow through. Become immaculate, be honorable. Don't commit if you don't have to. You can always stall saying, "I'm not sure, call me in a week." People are used to that. Making your word law, you develop power. Sounds easy, doesn't it? Most people are not used to their word as law. They're used to wimping out, ducking away if conditions don't suit them. That weakens them, for the mind knows you're full of BS. As you start to work upon yourself, your energy moves faster. Understand that as your energy goes up, you're going to get whatever it is that you put out. So it's best not to use your thoughts and dialogue in a flippant way. You're not going to make promises you won't keep. If you say to yourself, "I'm going to give up chocolate," don't say that and then half an hour later sit there and munch through an entire box. If you make a discipline, a law for yourself, you will follow through. If you don't feel confident with following through, don't make the law. Don't say you're going to give up chocolates if you're not going to give up chocolates. When you're good and ready, you'll give them up. Until then, wait. Embrace your word as law, and you'll see a defined benefit in your life immediately, as things you need will pop up effortlessly. But you have to mean what you say, so choose your words carefully. Be purposeful and police what you think and feel. If any crud comes into your mind, pounce on it quickly and change it. Also, don't give people a load of BS. Don't talk gibberish. Mostly, don't talk about yourself. Listen to others instead. Talk about them. Don't promise things you can't deliver. Don't agree to things you don't want to do, that you know you aren't going to follow through on. Become verbally disciplined. Don't show off, don't boast, don't exaggerate. Just stay inside what is true and real. Next, get into a dialogue of truth with yourself. In other words, don't buy all of the waffle of the mind. The mind says we're doing fine, and you know you're not doing fine. The mind says we're looking for a job, and you know you're not looking for a job. When you say to yourself, "My word is law," then you establish a dominance and authority over the mind. And you know that when you say something, you're going to follow through. Here's an exercise that will strengthen your will and help you along a bit. Pick a spot outside your house, or in the park, wherever. Find 12 stones. Go there in the early morning and tell your mind, "I'm going to move these stones ceremoniously every morning from 7:01 a.m. for 7 days for 15 minutes. Then pick up the first stone and ceremoniously walk across the garden and place it down. Bow and say to the stone, 'Thank you.' Then walk across the garden, pick up a second stone and take it over to the other side. Place that down next to the first, and gradually get all the 12 stones across the garden. Now pause for a moment and pick up the first stone one more time and take it back across the garden to where it was originally. Transfer all the 12 stones back again to the original side." It seems like a pointless exercise. It's supposed to be. The mind will ask, "Why are we moving 12 stones across the yard?" And you'll tell it, "Shush, we're getting stoned." The fact is, you're strengthening your will and establishing yourself as the lawgiver in the realm of your consciousness anyway. You're saying, "This is my law. At 7:01 a.m. every day for 7 days, I will ceremoniously move these stones." That has the effect of not only establishing the discipline, but it establishes your will as the dominant force. And it forces you to go beyond the discomfort that the mind may go through. The mind won't want to mess with it. These actions are outside its normal legislation. At this point, you dismiss the discomfort rather than accommodating the ego, which would prefer to stay in bed. Set a discipline for yourself, like moving the 12 stones, and do it for 7 days. My word is law. If you haven't got a garden near you, move 100 books on and off your bookshelf, but do it exactly at 7:01 every day for 7 days. In establishing the idea of my word as law, you improve your ability to materialize things that you want. You understand that when you come up with a thought or a feeling, when you express verbally, gradually that thing is going to appear in your life, because you can materialize your consciousness. The boundary between your internal world and your external world melts. Your definitions go. You see yourself as the infinite self. There's no more inside reality and outside reality. There's only one infinite consciousness of which you're a part. The ego tries to separate you. It seeks to define itself by creating separation. As you move towards the infinite self, what you're doing is joining the inner energy. Not just the inner energy of all the people on the planet, but the cosmic energy in all things. In that joining, you will be able to pull things to you and materialize them from a great distance. The ego has to go get things. It has to find things. It has to struggle to materialize things. It has to force things to happen. It has to sell itself. Rather than forcing things to happen, see the whole planet as inside of you, as a part of you. When I say to you, stand tall, be a big person, I mean expand your mind, expand your feelings to incorporate everything. You're an infinite being and you are everywhere. Be everywhere. Be everything. Once you're everything, through your connection with the infinite self, you're connected to everything. Then materializing things is easy. So you'll have an idea and suddenly there you are on a train sitting opposite somebody and you think, my God, he's good looking. I wanted a soulmate. And here I am sitting right opposite to my soulmate. Instantly. So the speed that things materialize in your life is a good way of understanding how fast your energy is going. But with it comes discipline. Be careful, because if you say to yourself, this is a bunch of crud, plonk, the great goo-goo bird drops one from the sky on your head. If you say this is a pain in the rear end, the next thing you're going to be doing is buying hemorrhoid tablets from the chemist. So you're going to use your word as law and clean up your dialogue. Don't talk or think in terms of things being hard, things being evil, things being ugly, things being difficult, impossible. Constantly clean up your act and say, hey, I feel great. I'm eternal, immortal, universal and infinite. I feel abundant. When people say, do you see the ugliness over there? You say, no, I see the bird flying above. Isn't it beautiful? When they say, do you see the depravity over there? You say, no, I don't see the depravity. I see the chubby legs of the children running across the playground. Watch your thought forms and don't make promises you can't keep, especially when you're in a dialogue with yourself.